Hey, let's kick it off. Thank you, everyone, for Are You Listening? I have an 8-year-old, and this is what we do in our house. Thank you all so much for coming in person and for all of those coming online. We're so delighted to be connecting with you all and in partnership with True to bring some education and connection to you wonderful clinicians ahead, on the back of what is often a very big month. We'd also like to thank our event sponsor, Gideon Richter, who has supported this event as well. And the team are here and up the back if you have questions for them. So please go and ask all of the questions that you might have. My name is Jess Taylor. I am the CEO of Quendo. I have been in this space for over 15 years and really know that we need to work collaboratively to ensure that we can create shifts and changes. I'd like to acknowledge the lands that we are connecting on today. We are here in Brisbane on the Turrbal and Yagara country. And I'd like to just share in terms of what we're seeing here on this land. This is a time where the air remains warm, but it's often humid. And there is still some storm activity passing. We have the Brisbane River running full. We've got lots of eucalyptus and native plants continuing to flower. There's birds and there's bees. But there's a real subtle shift, and I think we can see some cardigans coming back on, which is quite nice. But just acknowledging that when we do welcome to country or acknowledge country, we're learning about the country that we're on and learning about what pieces of information we need to share with others. So I'm from Quandamooka country out in the Redlands, and at the moment the mob told us that they're out there farming shellfish and different fish in time for stingray. So yeah, I'd encourage you to be curious around what's going on around the country at that time. So just wanted to share a little bit of what's happening here on Turrbal and Yarraville. Just again, acknowledging if we do have any traditional owners of the lands here in person and any people who are identified, and also those who are past, present, and emerging. And also acknowledge you all and the many leaders and advocates and organisations and people to continue this work of women's work and understanding women's health and those who are assigned female at birth, because we come together in community and we share very much like people and the custodians of the land did. So we're continuing that work here. So some overview, which Dr. Vanessa will get into very soon. I'll provide a welcome and an introduction. Then we'll have an overview, get into some talks, have a break, and then we will come back for some additional talks and get into the Q&A. So throughout the session, you will see a Slido QR code pop up that works wherever you are in Queensland, but also here online. So please pop your questions in there as we go through. We're on a fairly strict time, so we'll hold the questions for the Q&A. So Quendo, very briefly, we are a national service provider for those affected by endopelvic pain, adeno PCOS, suspected or diagnosed. And it's really about learning and understanding the symptoms and working to connect them with services. All of our services are completely free and no Medicare card is required. We receive funding federally, state, and through private donors, which means that we can pay our clinicians and our teams, a small but mighty team, but it means that there's no out-of-pocket costs for that individual. So we have an app which is supported by the Queensland government, which has 32,000 users on it now and has some really great outcomes in terms of clinical decision-making supports and navigating the healthcare system. We also have a national mentor network, and this actually recently found some really amazing outcomes, really high levels of satisfaction, improved quality of life, improved health, rating themselves as good and excellent. We saw some real reductions in anxiety, reduced stress, and improved coping mechanisms. We know that endo is really complex. We have the lesions, we have the symptoms, and everything in between. So how do we build that support around them in terms of a biopsychosocial model? So I would encourage you have some information about the mentor program. Please send people that way. It's free. They can access these services now. And then we have a wider community. So where you're coming from, there'll be a community close to you. You'll hear a little bit later about the Quendo Care Program, which is a fully funded, no out-of-pocket cost, multidisciplinary telehealth service. And this is supported by one of the Brisbane South, by the Brisbane South PHN. And again, encourage you to refer patients through. Self-referrals welcome, but we always want to work with the clinicians. And this is working alongside their current team. So they may already see a psychologist, but they need a pelvic health physio and they can't afford it. They can come in just for that. Or they might see all of those and need a dietitian. They can come in just for that. So it's very goal-based. Okay, I'll hand over to Vanessa now to provide an overview of the night. And thank you again for the partnership. It's truly, we get so much further when we can collaborate. And Margaret Mead has a really good quote that says, things change when a small group of people really, really passionately collaborate. And that's how we create system change. So thank you for doing so. And with all of our partners and you here, thanks for being allies and people on the ground.
Actually, I don't feel like I have too much more to add after that, but I'll just flick through what I had prepared. Thank you, Jess, for that, Wilmy. And I obviously do concur that it's been a wonderful partnership to do this with, create this event with Quendo and True, as we certainly appreciate that too. So, I feel like I won't do justice to this, but True also does acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to lands, waters, and communities. And we pay our respects to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, Islander cultures, and to elders past, present, and emerging. So a little bit about True then. True is a not-for-profit organisation that was established over 50 years ago and with a goal of achieving substantial positive social impact by improving reproductive and sexual health and promoting safe and respectful relationships. And we have this through our clinical services, our education services, and our counselling services. We have 5 static clinics around Queensland in Cairns, Rockhampton, Brisbane, Toowoomba and Ipswich. And we also do check-up or outreach clinics to many regional locations around Queensland throughout the year. Just to let you know, with our education, they are clinical based. So we have cervical screening, our IUD or LARC training with IUDs and Implanon. We have our sexual and reproductive health certificate, which is a national course that is only run through the family planning organisations. And we have multiple online self-paced short courses for doctors, nurses and midwives and other healthcare workers. Currently with True, we have a lot of exciting projects. So the most recent things have been our pelvic pain clinics, which are the federally funded clinics you may have already heard about. So Cairns has been running that for a little while now. And just more recently, we've also picked up Western Queensland through Western Queensland PHN and Rockhampton. And that is in collaboration with another health service. But it's really great for True to be involved in this important area. And of course, we have our general clinics in Ipswich, Toowoomba and Brisbane who also see pelvic pain, just not under that federal funding. And other projects is the Menopause Network. So it's a peer support group that True is funded to get going, and our under 25s STI clinics that are run through True at Windsor. I also want to make you aware of the AusLIKE scholarships that we have funding for, and this is fully funded LARC training, so Implanon and IUD training for general practitioners, nurse practitioners, endorsed midwives, and Aboriginal health practitioners, depending on the state. And you just need to, if you're in that area category and wish to sign up, then you just need to go to the website and register. And the line final thing is to make you aware of the AusCaps network. So if you're a healthcare worker working around contraception, this is the community of practice for contraception and abortion care. So it's obviously free to sign up, but you can ask questions, you can, and it's a really collaborative space that other healthcare professionals, just have discussions around very relevant topics. And then for True, our upcoming event is that we have a symposium on sexual and reproductive health, of course, and that will be on the 17th of October at the Brisbane Convention Centre. So again, just acknowledging Quendo, and thank you for that collaboration. And of course, must acknowledge Gideon Rector, who are so lovely in sponsoring the event tonight, and in particular, sort of Brisbane and our catering here. So I just make knowledge of the people around the state who are making this possible, and these are our Quendo and True people. So in Toowoomba, Ash is there for Quendo, and we've got Dr. Leilani Corbett as well, representing True. In Rockhampton, there's Karina Burton and Helen Wiltshire, who will be your facilitators. So if you have any questions in those places, please, go up to them and ask. In Cairns, we've got our lovely Emma, who is holding the fort for us there. And of course, in Brisbane, Jess, we've also got Jill here and myself. So we are very happy for you to come up and ask questions or have a chat. So toilets, if you haven't discovered them, they are just outside, just near the elevators on the right. Fire exits, follow the green signs. There should be a fire warden, so walk down the stairs. Of course, there's food. We have attempted to cater to allergies. There were probably a couple of late registrants that we were unable to cater for specifically. So hopefully there may be something there that will work for you. And there will be some photos taken through the evening that may be used on, sorry, is it really echoey for you guys? I don't know what changed. I'll try that. There will be photos taken through the night that may be used on social media. So if you are not wanting to be on photos, again, just please come up and let us know so we make sure that you're not included in those. So you already know about that. I'll let the evening begin.